It's a very warm welcome to all our viewers and welcome to a new episode of Africa Today, our program that brings you all the latest news and events happening all around the African continent. My name is Angie Meher and I'll be joining you for this afternoon. And we begin straight away with a look at some of the news making the headlines, moving to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the Italian ambassador to the DRC has been killed in Goma. Italian Foreign Ministry said that Luca Atanasio died alongside an Italian soldier after their car was attacked as they traveled in a UN convoy in the eastern part of the country. We have more details in this report. Italy's ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo was killed in an attack in the east of the country. The Italian Foreign Ministry said that Luca Atanasio died in hospital on Monday after the United Nations convoy he was traveling in came under fire near Goma. The convoy reportedly belonged to the UN's World Food Program. An Italian military police officer traveling with the envoy and a Congolese driver were also killed. The attack in North Kivu province is believed to have been an attempted kidnapping. Witnesses said the vehicles were ambushed by a group of 6 attackers who fired warning shots before taking all the passengers into the Virunga National Park. The WFP said the Italian ambassador was traveling from Goma to visit a schools program in a village in the eastern DRC. It is not clear who is behind the attack, but many armed groups are known to operate in and around the park. The DRC army has since deployed troops to help search the area. And continuing with more news, experts believe the emergence of new COVID-19 variations in Africa have contributed to an increase in the number of both cases and deaths reported in many countries. Findings of a survey in Nigeria suggest that rates of infection from the coronavirus in the country are much higher than previously reported. We have the details. Findings of a survey in Nigeria suggest that rates of infection from COVID-19 in the country are much higher than previously reported. The results indicate that 1 in 5 of those tested in the states of Lagos, Enugu and Nasarawa have been infected. In the country's largest city, Lagos, as many as 4 million people could have contracted the disease, although the official total is currently 54,000. The survey was conducted in September and October in the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and the Institute for Medical Research. The head of the NCDC said the results of the survey made Nigeria's vaccination efforts even more important. More than 1,800 people have died in the country from COVID-19. Officials recently approved the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine for use in Nigeria, but it is not clear when it will receive its first doses. And still with Nigeria, Nigerians have been celebrating the appointment of the former Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the first woman and first African Director General of the World Trade Organization. We have more details in this story. 3 months after the former Nigerian Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala received unanimous backing earlier last week to become the first woman and first African Director General of the World Trade Organization. A self-declared doer with a track record of taking on seemingly intractable problems, Okonjo-Iweala will have her work cut out for her at the trade body. As Director General, she is 66 years old and will need to broker international trade talks in the face of persistent US-China conflict, respond to pressure to reform trade rules and counter protectionism heightened by the COVID-19 pandemic. After her appointment on Monday, she said that the WTO needed someone who has the capability to drive reform, who knows trade, and who did not want to see business as usual. Earlier, she said in an interview that her top priority would be to ensure the trade body does more to address the COVID-19 pandemic, calling the disparities in vaccine rates between rich and poor countries unconscionable and urging members to lift export restrictions on medical items. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for this afternoon, Dr. Maha Mahgoub, the human development expert. Dr. Maha, it's a very good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us, Doctor.
Welcome.
Right, Doctor, now Nigeria's ex-finance minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has been chosen as the Director General of the World Trade Organization, becoming the first woman and first African to lead this World Trade body. Could you tell us a bit more about this woman and what an achievement this is to become the Director of the WTO?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, Doctor, I can hear you.
Yes, I heard that about the nomination of the Nigerian wonderful lady for nominating her in such a wonderful and great position along with Africa. And nowadays you are going to talk about the role of women empowerment all over Africa.
Yes.
Especially in some countries such as Nigeria. And we have to align in Egypt as well. We have to align with such initiatives to empower the Egyptian women. As well, we have another empowered women here in Egypt.
Yes.
who has employed and got a lot of very critical positions along with Africa, such as Dr. Amania Alfour and the other ladies. And we are so pleased that women nowadays are holding such very critical positions along Africa, and how to enhance and develop the trade between African countries.
Yes, indeed. Doctor, how do you see this recognition of not just a woman, but a woman from the continent of Africa for such a high-ranking position, and what does this entail? What does this mean for women all around the world, not just in Africa?
I'm so sorry, the voice is too low. I cannot hear you very well. Sorry.
All right, sorry.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Yes, Doctor. I'm asking you about the importance of the recognition of not just a woman, but also an African woman for this high-ranking post. What does this mean for women, not just in the African continent, but for all around the world with regards to women development and capability?
Yes, of course, it's very important for developing women in Africa especially, and as well all over the world, and because maybe we can consider women are considered 50% of any society. And we would like to ensure about gender equality between women and men, and how to make sure that women are reaching the highest places, very critical to the places, and to be empowered in order to have a good share in any place all over Africa and all over the world.
Yes.
So it's very important to empower women, and just nominating her for a very good positions in order to play an important role, and to show her role in in society, in politics, in trade, and everything.
Indeed. Dr. Maha, speaking about women empowerment, here in Egypt we have come a very long way with the empowering women, not just socially or economically, but also politically.
I'm so sorry. I cannot hear you very well. I don't know what's wrong with the voice. I cannot hear your voice. Can you please, to be clear, just send me a good message, please?
Sorry, Doctor. We apologize for this technical difficulty. I was going to ask you about how far Egyptian women have come, not just socially or economically, but also politically inside Egypt. We have seen lots of gains for women recently with their new positions, whether as ministers or members of parliament, fulfilling and even surpassing quotas that have been set for them.
Yes, I'm so pleased that this year women just achieved a very, very important role in politics. As you can see that 25 of women seats of parliament are held by women from different categories, and nowadays this is the era of Egyptian women.
Yes.
So the presidency he recognized that the important role of women and how to empower her, and this is the first year for Egyptian women to hold such a very sensitive positions. More about 8 ministers, female ministers. 25 of the females are now holding in political seats in the parliament.
Yes.
So it's not just empowering her politically, as well economically, corporate governance, how to have certain rules and policies to empower women, and just to have maybe for the board of directors, so they set rules just for women to hold at least 1 or 2 women in each board of directors, along with shareholding companies in Egypt.
Yes.
So it's very. I'm so proud of empowering Egyptians, either in politics, social, or economic, or any area.
Indeed, Dr. Maha, what challenges do you still think face women in Africa?
Yes, the environment, the stereotypes, the culture, they maybe don't recognize the role of women, how she is capable enough to be creative and to be equivalent with men mentality. So maybe the culture, if they are from rural or agriculture area or something, so the environment itself, which prevents women to reach good positions politically or economically, the education as well. Some countries, so they don't allow women to have a certain level of education, even though here in Egypt as well, in Upper Egypt, but we don't have high numbers, but other countries, they have limited numbers for women who have been, or girls who have been educated. For example, we can see in Nigeria, for example, if we are talking about in Nigeria, some Muslims groups, they kidnap schoolgirls.
But this is, of course, I mean, but doctor, this is not the norm. Of course, this is all extremism and fundamentalism. This isn't the norm standard, really, for women in Africa. Right. Yeah. Dr. Maha Mahgoub, a human development expert, I'd like to thank you very, very much, ma'am, for joining us this afternoon and for your time. And that wraps up today's edition of Africa Today. Ladies and gentlemen, many thanks for watching.